Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to this damn near midnight stream where we're going to be talking about, honestly, whatever the hell you guys want to talk about. So, very, very much open to whatever you guys would like to do. I'm going to get into Discord here, and I'm going to drop some links so that everybody can see what's going on. Gonna get that one, and into the Discord we go. Hello, community. Doing a middle of the night stream for everyone who can't normally make it. Drop in and see what's up. Okay, then got that link. And then got the X link. I'm good, man. RX Jax. I am tired. I am profoundly, deeply exhausted, but you know, life goes on. What can you do, right? I'm gonna remove all of these, remove all embeds, and publish. Gotta get this over here. Let me go drop this in the chat too, just in case nobody was paying attention. Let's remove the embeds. Okay, guys, let me get the chat up. Okay, is the chat showing dirt? Yes, I think the chat is displaying okay. Spike, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Hello, Rupert. Sam, nice to see you as always. Very good to be here with you guys. I'm here to answer questions, here to talk about random things, here to, opine on the state of the world. Yeah. It's past 11:30 right now, p.m. my time, so doing a little bit of the midnight streaming and broadcasting. Maybe I should turn the lights down and turn my voice down, do the midnight DJ thing. Welcome to Cool Datagram 101. We're here to talk about nodes. Please send nodes. Let's see here. Garav, how to get roles. You can work for stuff and you can purchase roles in the Discord. There is a marketplace. Hugh is here. Okay, Zeke from Pigmo asks, will Dgram be accessible to mobile soon? Okay, there's two answers to this question. The first answer to this question involves the nodes. Will you be able to run a node on a mobile phone? No, probably not. Not in the plans. It's a terrible idea. Anytime you have a project that has nodes running on mobile phones, those nodes are one of two things. Either they work asynchronously, okay, so you could have something that scrapes data and it doesn't really matter when the data shows up. There's no requirement that you have actual performance at all, so it just kind of, if it gets interrupted, it just comes back later and restarts again. You could do something like that with a mobile, but you can't really do what we do with mobile. So that's pretty much not going to be a thing that you're going to see. But in terms of using the infrastructure, using initiating calls and things like that via mobile, that's totally a thing that you can do. Token trivia, what is this XP? What does this mean? I don't know where you're seeing XP or what it means, so I don't know what you're talking about. I wish I did. It would be helpful, unless there's some sort of interesting thing happening on YouTube. I see you're talking on YouTube. Oh, it's just in YouTube, mate. I don't even know. I have no idea what this stuff looks like on YouTube. Let me go look. Okay, I see XP. What is this XP? I have no. Oh, it says XP at the top. Oh, oh, that's cool. I did not know YouTube did that. That's really freaking cool. Um, so I guess yeah, that's what that is. For the testnet reward capsule, will the vesting terms be similar to node sale capsules? 10% at TGE and the remaining 90% vests over 12 months. Yes, that is how that will work. What's the plan for the next week, sir? Oh my God. My next week is going to be one of those weeks that oh man. Anyway, so it's not actually the entire next week. It's just that travel takes a lot out of you, and I have a lot of places that I have to go. I have to go to Hanoi for Good Morning Vietnam. I've got to go to Korea to meet with some people. I've got to go to Hong Kong to meet with some people, and then I have to go to Ho Chi Minh City for crap. I forget the name of the other thing. So that's going to be a thing. It's a lot of work. Yo, says Subspace, you've woken up, sir. I hope you are chilling in your house in some comfortable socks. Yeah. Will the legend roll on Discord have any other benefits for it other than being early for the node sale? No, I don't believe so, but that by itself is a pretty substantial benefit. Yeah, no, dude, Rupert, my schedule's a nightmare. Like I hate traveling so much. I hate it so much. I've traveled like nonstop for almost for years now, and I despise it. But it's always good to get out there and see people and meet with the community. So I'll probably be doing little pizza and beer get-togethers pretty much everywhere. So just hang out, and I will be doing live streams as well from the road. So you're not going to see this nice setup. You're going to see a lot more of me just like on my phone talking at you. Zeke, thanks for answering. Happy to answer, man. Subspace, I'm still up. Yes, regrettably, I am still up. I've spent the last little bit of time working on coding some custom GPTs that I think are going to do some pretty cool stuff. Not datagram related, just family and life related. So it's yeah, that's what I've been working on. Traveling sucks, but destinations are cool. Yeah, but I never get to see the destinations, man. Like if I did, that'd be one thing. But typically, what happens is I land, I get in a car, I get like a Grab or a Bolt or whatever. I go from the airport to my hotel or directly to an event. Sometimes I never bring an actual bag. Everything's just in my backpack, and I go from the airport to the hotel to the event to some side events that I obviously have to go to at some point in time. And those are typically, you go to a side event, you're there for half an hour, you get in a car, you go to another side event, you meet some more people, you're there for another half an hour, you go to a third side event, you have a panel that you're supposed to speak on, you speak at the panel for 20 minutes, you're there for another 20 minutes, and every time you go, you're having a drink, some snacks, and then maybe some dinner that you have to go to. And if you go to the dinner, then you sit there and you hang out and you talk with people. Those are fun. I love meeting people. I love that. And then at the end of all of this, you go and you get back on the airplane to go to the next place. So it's not like there's like this beautiful like when I travel for fun, which I haven't done in a really long time now that I think about it. It's like depressing how long it's been since I've traveled somewhere for fun. But when you travel for fun, you have the wake up in the hotel, have breakfast in the hotel, figure out what you're gonna do. You're gonna go look at this thing, all of that. Yeah, I don't do that. It's not that. It's like wake up screaming exhaustion for 18 hours a day, and then then you're down. Viva Book says, let me join. Come along, man. Think Tank says, Graham Daddy. I had a great. Let me see if I can put this up because I think it's fantastic. I posted it on Twitter the other day. I thought it turned out great. Where did it go? Let me see. I sent it to my brother, right? Yeah, there we go. Let me upload it here. Give me just a second. I'm going to put it into this. And we're going to go image. This should be like my picture that I let cover the screen during 30 seconds, before I come on and 30 seconds after I fall off. There we go. Okay, let me just do this. I'm going to put this all the way over the top of everything. You guys ready for this? Are you ready for Granddaddy? Let's go. Boom. That's right. Granddaddy. I love it. I absolutely love it. There we go. Enough of that silliness. Um, let's see. Yeah, business travel sucks, man. It's not the same. It's not the same. Um, let's see. Oh, you're free. Okay, that think tank is free. Okay, I approve the Peaky Blinders grandfather deep in mafioso look. Good. I'm here for it, man. I think it's great. Like seriously, there's this guy that I know. He runs a small tailor shop here in Thailand. I've seriously considered sending him that picture, and and having him make me that outfit. I just need to figure out I can get like a 2 pound citrine crystal or something like that. Um, you got to keep the node hand strong. Let's see here. What do we got? What are we doing tomorrow in voice chat? We will be doing. I'm not sure. I like the Discord voice chat is great, but I feel like I reach a lot more people this way. And people can still stream it in Discord. I wonder if there's a way that I can actually like make this go into Discord as well. That would be really handy. Um, let's see. Big Grammon. I like it. I like it. Somebody's gonna have to reach out to Snoop. We're gonna have to do this together. Okay. Let's see. What questions do people have into the Discord? Any questions, guys, in the Discord? Anything that you can see? Anything that you want to talk about? um, any questions? Anything that you guys think is an interesting thing that we should talk about, even if it doesn't have anything to do with DPIN or datagram or anything. It is like fully the middle of the night here. I'm feeling very much like I can just talk about whatever. So if there's anything you guys wanna riff on, like hit me up. What is the meaning of life? So I would have had several answers to this question at different points in times in my life. Um, Before I had kids, I didn't really think life had much meaning. I was very nihilistic, I guess you could say. But the meaning of life, as I see it now, is to leave everything better than how you find it. To make the world a better place for the people who come after you, because that's what matters. I don't matter; they matter. And I know that any parent would 100% agree with this. As Subspace points out, yes, 42 is also the meaning of life. Free says to pull up his convo on the Universal Reward Program. I would, but I want to send you some messages about that first because I did read through it. I really like it. There's some elements that can really work there. Um, but I don't want to just like yeet it out onto a live stream because I think that's yeah, I think you have something there, and we should do that. Vivo Book has completed 100 hours. Congratulations. If you use OBS to stream, it's not hard to integrate into Discord with the virtual camera. That's true. I don't know if I can just like turn it on though, or if I have to go into a stage. I guess I could go into a stage, right? If I go into a stage, is it going to break things? Let's try. Let's try. Let's see here. Start the stage. Midnight stream. Okay. Starting the stage. The stage is started. Opening the chat. The chat is open. Turning on the camera. The camera is on and I think inversed. Please tell me, Subspace, if that is inversed. Or is it just look like shit for me? Are Datagram and Helix crossover at all? Helix Games uses the Datagram core substrate. Other than that, no. They're not related. Okay, good. Looks good. So there we go. Now it's live. It's live in Discord as well. So we'll just do it this way, because I think that this is better than I mean, we hit all of the different audiences if we do it this way. So everyone can hop in, asking questions. Lacoste, hello, sir. My phone just buzzed at 11:50 at night saying I have upcoming events. That's not good. Oh, what the hell do I have going on at midnight? Let's see here. Where do I come from? That's a long story. So originally I came from California. I was born in Central California. Lived there for most of my life. When I was 25, I decided I was going to go and move to Asia, see what was up with that. So I did. I moved to Asia, and I spent 10 years in Thailand. Just got married here, made a lot of great friends. Built a life. Got involved in crypto during that period of time while I was there. This is when I did the Bill and Melinda Gates stuff, and the Global Development Network, $8 stable coins, all of that. Yeah, so that's basically spent 10 years here. Decided I want to move to Canada because I think that it'll be a great place. I want to have kids and I want them to learn how to speak English. So moved to Canada, stayed there for like 4 years. Realized that moving to Canada was a terrible plan. Moved back to Southeast Asia. Have I played the funny Japanese horse racing game? I have no idea what that is, so probably no. When I think of Japanese and racing, it just reminds me of Final Fantasy VII and racing chocobos or chocobo, or I still don't honestly know how to say that, in the Golden Saucer. Let's see here. Subspace says this video is about 4 seconds ahead of YouTube's. That doesn't surprise me because YouTube and Twitter, YouTube and X are going through Restream, so it's broadcasting directly to Restream and then rebroadcasting from Restream to other places. So that's how that would go. Drink Your OJ says Final Fantasy VII was peak. Fuck yes, 100% it was. Final Fantasy VII is my all-time favorite game, I think, ever. And it is a reminder that graphics do not make a game. Like, frickin' everybody in Final Fantasy VII had like 20 hexes. Okay, they were not 20 polygons rather. They were super super low poly and they looked like crap. But I wept bitterly when Ares died. So yeah. Man, I haven't thought about that in a long time. I really wish that I could replay that game for the first time again. There are a few games like that I wish I could play for the first time again and have that new experience with it, and that game was one of them. Before this, what was I doing for a living, asks VivoBook. So prior to I'll just give you like a little rundown of my life. I started my first company when I was 13 years old. I did graphic design and web development in Central California. Did a bunch of work for vineyards and wineries and just sort of the whole local scene there. did pretty well as that when I was very young. Made more money than like a 16, 17 year old has any business making. Um, not like YouTube streamer silly money, but like, I was doing okay for a kid. And from there, that eventually kind of collapsed during the whole subprime crisis. All of my businesses that all of my customers rather, basically lost their homes because everyone's mortgage was upside down, and so they had to shut down their businesses because they had used their businesses or their homes to secure their businesses, and it was just this big gigantic mess. And that's when I decided essentially to move to Asia. Moved to Asia, ended up getting into academic consulting. I was an academic consultant, helped send kids to universities in the United States and the UK, a few in Canada as well. And that's what I was doing when I got involved in the Global Development Network and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, crypto stuff that I was doing. And that's sort of where it all took off. I hope that answers your question, VivoBook. Let's see. Discord volume is very low. Okay, let me see what I can do on that. That's a Discord thing. I have my inputs turned up as high as I can, unfortunately. I do not see a way that I can turn it up any louder. I'm sorry. I don't know why Discord sucks. If I turn this off, no, how's that? Is that any better if I turn off input sensitivity? Let's see. Okay, other people seem to be okay with it. How's that? Does that sound any better, Kyle? Uh, what about my income? What about my income? As an academic consultant, I made almost no money. It was terrible. My boss made tons of money, like absolute tons of money. Welcome, Multiverse Studio. Happy to have you here. Volume is now gone. Okay. Fucking Discord. 1 second. Going back. Okay. How's that? Volume should be back now. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, no, beating Ruby or Emerald, those were, yeah. You had to be a freak to be able to beat Ruby or Emerald. Okay, Amar D Dragon, nice to see you here. Lolita, nice to see you. Welcome everybody. Okay, so hopefully the Discord volume is okay. It is what it is, guys. There's nothing I can do about that. There's probably other stuff that I could eventually do, but that would require, other things. Okay, Discord is better than Spaces apparently, so that's fine. Okay, questions, guys. Questions. What do you got? What questions do you have? I'm gonna hop back over to nothing happening in the general chat, so I'm going to come back into the stage. Launch date, any updates? Launch date for the sale is August 10th. For the preferred whitelist, August 11th for the normal whitelist, and August 12th for the general sale. TGE and mainnet launch will be Q3, Q4 of this year. Kyle, go ahead and give me the questions that you want to, want me to answer. Okay. Will the node sale continue until sold out, or is there a deadline? I don't want to say that there's no deadline. Like, if it doesn't sell out, there may be a point in time where we're like, okay, that's enough. But as far as I know, our plan is to, let it continue selling. Although, yeah, I don't know how long that will actually take. We'll see. Kyle asks, Ooh, that's a great question, Subspace. Hold on, let me deal with some of these Kyle questions, and then I'll come back around to that because that's a little bit more philosophical. Will testnet capsules and node cell capsules be the same aside from the amount of DRAM inside them? Yes, exact same. Exact same. Maximum supply of datagram of the DRAM token is 10 billion. Capsule maturation. Does the redistribution get reflected in the daily increase of claimable amount, or will it be reflected only after the capsule reaches full maturity? It should. The plan is for it to be reflected in the daily increase in claimable amount. But I would not like it will get added to the vesting, not instantly claimable, if that makes sense. Will the node sale contain? We had to answer that. In the event some tier 3 nodes do not sell out by TGE mainnet, will the unbought capsules also receive redistribution bonuses? Have not thought of that yet, so I don't actually know, so I don't want to answer that. That is a good question, and we will have to answer that as we code things in, but I don't actually know the answer there. Let's see. Question. Would you say that fundamentally the DPIN philosophy is exactly the opposite of the cloud philosophy? I would not say that they're opposite. I would not say that they're opposite. I would say that they're tangentially related. But ultimately what it boils down to is the sovereignty and ownership of the foundation upon which the network is based. But they're not opposed because, like, cloud exists so that you can place data and compute somewhere other than local. Okay, you can deploy it, push it out to the cloud, right? That's not different. The question is who runs that and who owns it and who gets paid for it. And in the DPIN model, the people who are actually running the nodes are the ones who benefit, versus the cloud model, the company that's deployed the infrastructure benefits. Let's see, will datagram nodes focus on storage instead of compute? I wouldn't say they will focus, but it will definitely be a thing. Let's see here. Where did crap? I lost Discord again. There we go. I would say that it's going to be a thing that they do, but it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be only the only focus, if that makes sense. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that I remembered exactly what you were talking about, and I did. Free. Would we survive a Carrington event? That's a really, really interesting question because I don't know that most of our global infrastructure would survive a Carrington event. Because essentially it's basically just going to nuke everything that's electronic on the surface of the fricking planet. So yeah, that would be very interesting. And so, like, I would like to say that it would, but I guess, I mean, we haven't had a Carrington event, and our understanding of the Carrington event is based on looking back at it and making calculations about it, not actually experiencing it firsthand. So that's a thing. A major source of stress for some node operators and other projects has been unexpected changes to requirements. You've clearly stated there will be no staking required for the first 25,000 nodes to earn basic rewards. In the future, what will the policy on changing minimum hardware specs? If the network requires more powerful hardware in the future, how will the team approach that transition to ensure early supporters are able to participate? I would far rather have a change in requirements and specifications happen based on an incentive rather than a punitive measure. Okay, so what I would like to say is that, let's say that hypothetically speaking, we discover that GPU is massively needed in the network. Okay, so what I would do then, and this is something that's in the white paper, is we talk about having a scaling system where essentially, imagine a board, okay, with three corners. You got a triangle, right? And this triangle exists on a pivot point, okay? And the area that the network requires the most receives the most rewards, okay? So whichever direction that is, that's the area that receives the most rewards. If it's storage, then it's storage. If it's CPU, then it's CPU. If it's GPU, then it's GPU. And that will naturally push people in the direction of supplying the resources that are required to make that required to make the actual network function correctly. And that's already something that's conceptually there that hasn't been fully built out yet, but it's conceptually there. That would prevent the sort of arbitrary, we're upping the requirements, type thing. It would just be that the people who are providing what the network actually needs will receive the best rewards from a usage perspective. I need AI to ask questions. Is it allowed? Knock yourself out, man. I don't care what you use to ask questions, as long as they're, as long as it makes sense. Projected to a datagram ideal, every single home would be a node on the D pin so that the chances of a natural or man-made disaster bringing the entire thing down is unlikely. Yes, that's true. But a Carrington event was supposedly something that like hit the entire surface of the Earth, if I remember correctly. So, hell, man, I don't know. I think it's far more likely that we start lobbing nukes at each other, and causing problems that way than a Carrington event. When GPU suddenly becomes node variable, electric bills suddenly become a much bigger factor. Yeah, they will. But at the same time, GPUs are operating like GPUs in terms of GPU farms and things like that, and decentralized GPU projects. I was, talking to Mark from Aether the other day, and they're experiencing very solid utilization rates across GPUs, and I was talking to some people who run data centers, and they're experiencing better than 90% usage. So, if you're required to run a GPU, then it might actually really work out well for you. Liza asks, would Datagram go live on Binance Alpha? Possible. Not going to say no, but sort of we'll see. Ton95 says no, please. I would say that most of the projects that have done this, that have done really poorly, have not managed it correctly, is my personal feeling. I think if you look at revolving games is a good example of how not to do this. Honestly, that I need to do a giant post about revolving games, because there's a lot of people who are very bitter about the revolving games, TGE and nodes and things like that. And I get it. I 100% get it, because people looked at it and they're like, "Oh, revolving games, this is great. I'll buy nodes. This is wonderful." And something like that. There really is no cohesive plan or no planned utility or anything really that you can see there. And so what I think happened is a bunch of people yeeted a bunch of money into revolving games and got completely wrecked because there wasn't a plan to handle most of it. And I think that they were in a sort of mental space for Web3 gaming that is circa 2021. So, subspace, a farm is by very definition not decentralized. Yes, absolutely true. I'm just saying that utilization rates for both farms and decentralized GPU clusters and marketplaces and stuff are very, very high right now. Excuse me. Let's see. Do we result? Of course it's possible, guys. Lots of stuff is possible. But what you're not going to see is what you've seen with a lot of other projects, even if we did that. So chill. Don't worry about it. How can you explain the datagram network in layman's terms? So you can think of datagram network as the foundation for a new internet. It's all of the stuff that you need to make internet actually function, um, be distributed, and that's the basic idea that we're working with here. Let's see here. And what else do we have? Other questions? I'm going to hop back to any requirements from the Restream chat. Any requirements to be eligible from for Datagram? Eligible for what exactly? To run a node? Right now, you can just basically run a node. It's very simple, very straightforward. It's going to continue to be that easy. Will engagement points be useful in the future? I've been talking to the team, thinking about keeping them around, letting people get some merch with them, you know, rewarding, doing other roles, stuff like that. There's always going to be something that we could potentially do with them. We'll just have to see. Let's see. Liza says, do you know what? If it's go on Binance Alpha, you would get penny in your hand after TGE. Liza, it's not that there's other factors other than that. The problem when you see Binance Alpha is that people only do Binance Alpha and they expect that, oh, they do Binance Alpha, which means that they'll eventually get to Binance Spot, but that doesn't always happen that way, and it's very, very poorly managed. Again, I've been doing this for a long time and watching this for a long time. I've watched all of these Binance Alpha launches very, 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 very closely. So just woosah a little bit. It's gonna be okay. I'm still not certain what direction it's gonna go, but you know, don't freak out too much there. Is there a plan for mobile phone apps? No. Again, Binance Alpha only did massive token dumps, no benefit, no value. It's not actually true. So let me explain something about Binance Alpha. So Binance Alpha, yes, they often ask for allocations that they give to their community and things like that. And yeah, a lot of their community dumps stuff. And that's a problem if you don't have, you know, market making in place, if you don't have liquidity, you don't have depth, you don't have people managing your DEX, you don't have, you know, people managing Pancake Swap, all of these things. That's what you see when you see things crater after a Binance Alpha drop, because people don't get these things in place. And that's what hurts you. The other problem that, or the other thing that Binance Alpha often does is it gets you much easier access to other exchanges, large centralized exchanges that will list you based on the fact that you're on Binance Alpha. So there is absolutely pros and cons here, but it's not just this, you know, monodimensional, like, bleh, everything sucks thing. Why can't a phone app access the DPIN for a service? Absolutely. In that case, yes. Yes, from an application to access a node and to access a service, like if you were to use your, you know, phone to, you know, let's actually do it right now on my phone. Use your phone to access something. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can create a conference. Camera is off. Let's turn my camera on. Loading camera. Camera's still off because it hasn't loaded. You know, you can absolutely, you know, start a conference. Okay? And start it. Okay, it's starting. Anyway, so yes, you can. It's just you can't run a node. So that's fairly straightforward. Let's see here. TGE, sir, Q3, Q4 of this year. And yeah, guys, like I said, I have done this before. Okay, my last project that I was working in was on, you know, was available on 136 exchanges. You know, so again, done this before. Now Binance Alpha is a relatively new thing, but I'm not too terribly worried about this. Okay, let's see here. So KYC related, any update? There will be KYC requirements for claiming rewards. That's something that is spelled out in the doc.datagram.network. So there will be KYC requirements, and there's going to be some limitations to that, and things like that. So yeah, Um, okay, some people say there are people with huge number of referrals that have more mining points than those without it. I believe all active node runners will be rewarded, not but node points. So the alpha testnet and the referral system are two interconnected things, but ultimately everyone's going to be taken care of. How many people work under me? We have a total of 45 engineers. So they don't work directly under me for the most part. They work primarily under my co-founder, Dr. William, and his team because they're the engineering team. I'm sort of the Web3 side of things. I've got my Web3 people that I work with, but we work very closely together. I just don't manage most of the direct engineers because, I don't speak Vietnamese. Let's see. Any other questions? Hopping into general chat really quick. Okay, so we've got that. Questions about claiming, questions about a few other things. We create a Datagram T app for crypto profiles. I'm down, man. Absolutely down. You pay them with crypto. No, they actually have like normal salaries because we're an actual company and shit. I do have some developers I do pay in crypto, but those are different developers that do other things. Let's see. Other questions. Other questions. Rage, I love that PFP I made for you. It came out so well. Questions, questions, questions. Do you have any extra points for Discord roles? Can we ask something outside of Datagram topics? Ask whatever you want. Do we resolve? Do we resolve? Go for it. What are you curious about? What about revenue? What about revenue? So the company itself basically sets up SLA level contracts with people, primarily governments, institutions, things like that need to use the service. That feeds in, and once mainnet goes live, then that will result in token purchases and burns, and then the company will maintain a percentage of that because they're being paid in fiat. So essentially, there's like a conversion charge, and then everything goes through that way. Let's see. What's the first type of workload does Datagram have lined up? So most of the workloads are actually being created outside of Datagram, just using the Datagram core substrate. So my other company, LFG, is doing a lot of the workload work for some of the partners to bring on the Datagram core substrate and get that lined up, and then obviously working very closely with how many time you spend in anyway, working very closely with the rest of these projects and communities to help build things up. I have no idea what how many time you spend in means, VivoBook. I apologize. I wish I did. Will Discord role be rewarded, or does it have a multiplier to node points? No, it has it. Discord and points for node operation are entirely separate. Discord is Discord. Like the points you get in Discord are just the points you get in Discord. So no worries there. What kind of projects are the target audience for Datagram services? Primarily, like the earliest, easiest to approach things are academic institutions, governments, things like that. Companies that want to have easy access to sort of white label services and things like that. So that's where a lot of that that's where a lot of that comes into this. In terms of like what I think we should do is I'm looking forward to this becoming something that other Web3 projects use as their home and as sort of the foundation for their entire DePIN networks. Those are the easiest ones to pitch to because they're the ones that are most likely to get it. Then on top of that, just literally anyone who runs a service or does web development or anything like that, that would be ideal. Given Datagram's compute-focused node architecture, what projects are not a good fit? I've answered something similar to this. I think that it is not particularly well suited for AI training specifically, until we get sort of like a cluster architecture set up that allows people to contribute racks of GPUs that are all working together. Simply because the latency of having, you know, 8 different GPUs all over the place to sort of, run a RAG or something like that, the latency is just too high. That doesn't mean it can't be done, and it could probably be done quite cheaply, but it's just the latency becomes prohibitive. And then also, just because of the way AI inference and training works, having a bunch of like random cards all working together becomes difficult. It's much easier if you have a bunch of cards that are exactly the same and, built together at the same time. Let's see, how many time you spend in to build this? So this, I think the question that you're asking is how long has this been under construction? This has been under construction for many years. It goes all the way back to Dr. Williams' work in the mid-90s at Lawrence Livermore with Beowulf clusters and distributed compute and whatnot. So this has been going on for a long time. It's just the Web3 side of it is the new build here. Let's see, any other questions dropping into the general chat really quick? People asking about leveling themselves up. Please knock yourself out. Have fun. Whoa, okay. I think it should be noted to make a yes/no list of projects that will work. Visual representation important here. I have no idea what defend benefits who or why, why doing what versus what. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could definitely do that. What problem is Datagram coming to solve that is different from what other DeepIn projects do? Most other DeepIn projects are bullshit. I said it. Most other DeepIn projects are bullshit. They don't, not all of them, obviously there's some really good ones out there, but most of the projects, like the main problem that we're coming to solve is the fact that, these DeepIn projects don't know how to DeepIn. And we're building that for them. We're making it easier for DeepIn projects to actually decentralize things by running the Datagram core substrate. We're fixing the problems with lack of on-chain accountability for uptime and usage. And, those are some of the main things that we're doing. My whole role in this industry since day one has always been to build real stuff and to fix problems. And it's there's a lot of problems in this space to fix, and so right now I'm putting my focus squarely on DeepIn for this. Vivo Book, I am 40, sir. Will we have ambassador programs in the future? Yes, we will, but we also have them in the present as well. Let's see. Subspace has sent me a DM. Maybe. I'll dig into that. I don't know. Don't answer now. You're not the boss of me, Subspace. I'll answer your private DMs if I want to. Nobody knows what they said. As the CEO, what's the most fulfilling part of building Datagram? You guys, man. Honestly, like, how do I say this? There's a countdown. Ton, what is this countdown? Why are we doing a countdown? It's been really freaking the last few years have been tough. To be completely blunt, they've been tough because I've been in a position where I've not been able to be with the community the way that I wanted to be. And that is what I'm doing here. And so for me, datagram is meaningful because I know that I have more power to push things in the right direction here than I have previously. VivoBook, no, I do not know your Discord account. Sorry, which Discord account are you? So yeah, that's for me. For me, that's the thing that I love the most is being able to be here doing all of this with you guys, not above you guys, not speaking down to you, but with you. This is why I do this. This is why this matters. Okay. Can everyone participate in the ambassador program? No, they're pretty selective actually. But if you are qualified, then yes. In terms of user data security and node efficiency, what do you deploy to ensure this works perfectly and users' data is safe? The key is making sure that no user's data is actually, like when it comes down to transmission, everything's end-to-end encrypted, obviously. And then when it comes to actually like storage concepts and things like that, nothing's ever stored sort of just like by itself. Everything's sharded and encrypted and spread all over the place. So data stored correctly from a security perspective should basically be indistinguishable from noise, and that's what I want to see with this. The Weary Wallet says your cosmonauts on X. That's good. Am I a smoker? I am not a smoker. I have been known to smoke occasionally when out with friends. I am not a smoker of the sort of Metaflora's choice herbs. Nothing against anyone who does. It's just I've tried it several times and it just does not work well with me. It's terrible. Yeah, so that's that. What other questions do we have? Confirm CEO is a cheesy man. Dude, I am a total fucking cheeseball. Like I am absolutely a cheeseball. I'm a monster who drinks Monster. It's like I have a can. I could open it, but it's almost 12:30 at night. I feel like that's a bad idea. Grok 4 should get sent all the recordings and compile it into a presentation. Is it capable of doing slideshows? Let's try. Let's try. Do you see storage nodes using IPFS? I want Datagram to support IPFS the way another project that some of you may or may not be aware of did at one point in the future. So that's something that I would like to do, but I don't want it to be. I think that there's better stuff other than IPFS, and we can build to a certain extent our own DCDN that will work better. Let's see. Any plans? Whoa. Are there any plans to help ensure governance remains decentralized after nodes are able to be resold? There's a potential for whales to accumulate a large number below the original node sale price. I think that begs a lot of questions. I would point out that these nodes are not being sold at a price that they're not like other projects that you've seen previously where there's price ramping to fucking kingdom coming back. Like these are very, very, very reasonably priced. And again, hashtag do your own research, hashtag not investment advice, blah 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 blah. Under most FTVs, the never mind. I'm not going to say any of that. Never mind. Forget I said anything. My point is that I think that there's a lot of assumptions in that question. But governance also isn't entirely based on nodes. There's also a token portion to governance as well. So if somebody were to be buying large numbers of nodes, they'd also have to be buying large amounts of tokens, and at a certain point in time, the centralization becomes evident. So I wouldn't I wouldn't worry about that. Rystar, say my name. Hi, Rystar. I think that's, yeah, cool. Can I please have a Grammy Squishmallow dressed up as the grandfather? Yes, I think that's important. Um, okay, so Rystar is VivoBook. Okay, cool. I will, yeah. I think, is there any NFT for Datagram? Do you mean NFT is in like the nodes? The nodes will have NFTs associated with them. Is there like other NFTs? We're experimenting with a few different ideas, but I kind of don't want to go that direction. I would love to have, I mean, there will obviously be NFTs for the capsules. That's a separate thing. But I don't want to go sort of down the PFP sort of degen route too much. Um, does Datagram Prime include free swag packs? We'll see. We'll see. I would like to have swag packs for people. I'm like honestly. Let me see if I have it here. Hold on. I'm like rummaging through my desk. One of the things that I used to do, and I think I still have. Oh, come on. I know there's some of them in here somewhere. Come on, work with me. Nope, nope, nope. That's really irritating. I know that they exist. Oh my god. And I actually need to get these done because the guy that makes them for me does such amazing work. But where the hell are they? Anyway, I used to get these really nice keychains cut out of aviation grade titanium, and I would give those out to people that I met in person. Uh, is the voice working on 2 channels? Only one side of my Mac speakers are working when Bitbender talks. Yeah, should be. I don't know. Bumper stickers? Sure, we could do that. No, it wasn't Wolfenite. Wolfenite does other stuff. Wolfenite does other stuff. It is. Oh my God, brain. Where is my brain? Come on. What the hell was the guy's name? No, not there. Wrong channel. The TI project. TI project. T Boone. Somebody. T Boone _8. Go tag him and let him know that he's being talked about. But those are super cool. Sorry, can't manage both X and Discord. I know, dude. Imagine me. I'm trying to manage X, Discord, and YouTube all at the same time. But I think, let me drop into the general really quick and see if there's any other questions. Anything else? Anything else that you guys want to talk about before I go and crash out for a bit? Because I do have... I do have to sleep because I have stuff that I have to do tomorrow, unfortunately. But any other questions? Going with no other questions because everyone else seems to be dropping off here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop off as well. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. As always, very fun, and I will catch up with you guys soon.